Right. So, hello. Thank you for joining us for our first ever blab. I'm Joanne,
Hi,
and basically we're going to have a little chat today. Just for the purposes of making it a bit easier, I basically run a small business blog where I write about working from home, mums in business, turning a craft hobby into a business, and a bit of social media stuff. So that's me in a nutshell. And I'll pass you over to Cara so Cara can tell you a bit about herself.
I'm Cara. I blog at chelseamama.co.uk, and basically that's what I do. So I'm always updating social media. My favourite platform is Instagram because I probably spam people with far too many photos of my kids and of me doing stupid things like launching myself down a zip line. But yeah, I just like sharing stuff.
Awesome. Do you know when you look at your notes and it says the word wine and one of your children is more attractive than the other, it's going to be an interesting conversation. I think
notes.
that's all right. I think the reason I thought it'd be really useful to have Cara come on board is that we both have very different ways of working Instagram, and I think it's really important with social media to remember that actually you're doing it for your business and not for anybody else's business, and everyone will have a different way of doing it, and what works for you might not work for everybody else. So although there's all these, oh, you should do this and you should do that, I know I'm not really a massive believer in that, and I think it's really useful to just find your own way and use the information that's out there to find your own way and not be bogged down with what everyone else has to tell you to do. Don't you think, Cara?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, there are hundreds of bloggers posting how to use social media, how to use Instagram. And to be honest, I can't keep up with half of them. There's a billion hashtags out there. And I think it looks spammy. So I probably don't do it the way that some bloggers do it. But what I do seems to work for me.
Yeah, definitely. Because if we go on to sort of like my first point I was going to make is about basically for me, I find that less is more. So I'm not constantly posting all the time the same images and having like if I'm out at an event, I probably pick 2 or 3 pictures and then post them. Whereas I know you're the opposite and you like to post a million pictures.
I try not to. I have toned down quite a bit, actually. But yeah, I do. If I'm at an event and I'm having fun and the kids do something funny, then yeah, I'll take a picture. I'll hashtag it with 1 or 2 and yeah, I'll post it. And I'm totally guilty of spamming. And I've tried to be a little more careful with it now because I don't want to upset my followers. But then they do get loads of likes. So there are people that are obviously following it and like to see what we're up to and the stupid faces that Isaac pulls and what have you.
Yeah, definitely. I think it really is key where what works for you isn't necessarily what's going to work for everybody. And I personally find that I like to have a picture and work that picture for maybe sometimes 2 or 3 days. So there's a picture on my Instagram, the last one, I think I posted it on Sunday. So that's sort of 3 days ago now, of Olive's. I framed Olive's ballet shoes and yeah, I like to work the picture for a couple of days. So I'm still tweeting it. I'm still sharing it on Facebook and stuff. And then I'll sort of pitch in with a new picture. But I know you like to have like new content on there every day, don't you?
Yeah. And I think because my style of blogging is, it tends to be days out and being outside with the kids. Then, yeah, I am posting sort of, I get twitchy if I don't post at least once a day. And I take part in Project 365 as well, which is where you take a photo a day for a year. So it also works in with that project quite nicely.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, where you review a lot of children's products, it's quite nice sort of like 7-8 months later for you to post a picture and tag that business in and just remind people that actually, you know, yeah, I've reviewed this product, but look, we're like 8 months down the line and we're still using it all the time. It's not the sort of instant thing with the reviews. They can see that it's a progressional thing, that you're using it all the time and getting as much sort of I can't think of the word I'm looking for now, but you're getting as much traction out of it as you can, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. And I find that the businesses that I do review before, they automatically follow me. And every time I post a picture of maybe my kids using, for example, Globber scooters, I've got a scooter with a handle on the back that I can push Sebi on, they always retweet me and they always put it on their Facebook page. So it's good for my traffic as well. So I'm seen in a wider audience.
Yeah, definitely. That's really handy as well. I think like working with brands, I think brands are getting a little bit more savvy about Instagram now and working with people on Instagram as opposed to just it being a written review.
And I think that's going to get more with the new launch that's coming out very soon, where it's very much like Facebook. It's going to mean that brands have to work harder at getting their stuff out there. So I think they'll be using bloggers a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. And I think where people like me maybe don't post images as often and tend to work the one image, someone like you who is prolifically posting on Instagram, like, you know, how many times do you reckon you put a post up a day?
Probably about 3 or 4.
Yeah, exactly. So I think people like you probably aren't going to suffer, like prolific bloggers like that aren't going to suffer as much when the algorithm comes into play. But people who maybe do have like a stylized one image every so many days, they are going to sort of struggle a little bit more, and they're going to have to up their game and think of new ways of doing it.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I don't agree with posting the same image again and again and again, because I find that stream quite boring. Sorry.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh, what you mean, working the same image on other social media platforms?
No,
sorry, say that again.
There's some Instagram accounts where they post the same picture every day for a week.
Oh yes, definitely.
Point. Sorry, it's just I've already seen that, so I'll just scroll straight past it. I'm not going to like it again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that goes with one of my things that I was sort of saying as well about being consistent. I think now we are looking at having this Facebook algorithm that we all hate. You are going to have to be far more consistent than you were before, and maybe look at the hashtags in a better way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many hashtags out there, and I think there's a rule of thumb about something like 10. You should have 10 hashtags. I'm like, that's a bit too much for me.
I think it just clutters it all up, because then you have to scroll down to, especially if you're on your.
Emma's saying 30. She had 30 hashtags.
How many?
30.
Yeah, because you have to scroll down to comment. If you want to comment, you have to scroll down if you're on your phone. It's just such a pain in the bum. Oh, there goes my door. It's all right. Hubby's home. He can do.
Yeah. I think as well, sometimes people genuinely get a bit like, say, for example, we take the hashtag garden, then some people will put garden, gardens, gardening, gardener. And I think what I tend to do is say I do want to use the hashtag garden, is I'll start typing garden, and then you get the list come up and it tells you how many posts you've got for, like, how many posts in general there is. And then I pick the one that has the most posts. So if garden had 10,000 posts but gardening had 100,000, I'm more likely to use the hashtag gardening because it's more popular than hashtag gardens. But I wouldn't put all 3 of them in the same post.
No, I think that's a very fair point. I think, yeah, pick the one that's got the most posts on it, and then hopefully people will come and click on that hashtag and come and find you.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think a lot of people do still, I do. I search for things on using hashtags all the time. And especially if people are, like, stay out on events and they're using a specific hashtag, then if I've seen someone, I'll have a look and see what someone else is doing at that event as well.
Yeah. I think the other thing to bear in mind with hashtags as well is if you automatically, your Instagram post to Twitter and Facebook, that those hashtags transfer over. And they don't really work. They work on Twitter, but I don't think they particularly work on Facebook. And it can look really spammy as well if you've got a billion hashtags on there. So I always edit my Facebook posts, go back and edit and take the hashtags out.
Yeah, when you share from Instagram onto Facebook, you have got the option to change the complete whole message that you send over. Or, like you say, I know I tell you quite a lot. So go back, and if you are, there's nothing wrong with sharing the image from Instagram over to Facebook, but I think you do need to go back and change that image and all the tags on it and stuff. So if you've tagged somebody, that tag isn't going to transfer to Facebook like it does to Instagram and Twitter. So you need to go back and change the tag and actually tag the business again properly. Yeah. And then, that shows it to their followers as well. And make it more user friendly for Facebook. There's no point in sharing it from Instagram to Facebook if you're not going to edit it to make it Facebook friendly. You might as well just upload that picture straight away to Facebook and stop using the Instagram altogether. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, thanks to you, that's what I started doing, and I've actually got loads more Facebook followers because of it. And then the companies see it on Facebook and share it and interact. And it's really, I've increased my Facebook followers quite somewhat since I've started doing it. So it really worked for me.
Good, yeah. See, I do sometimes know what I'm talking about.
Oh, this light is streaming through the window. I've got like one blonde side and one dark.
We shouldn't complain that it's nice and funny.
That's true.
Yeah. So Emma's saying that Facebook isn't trying to get you to use more hashtags, and then Amanda sort of says, well, it can scare people off, and I think that's quite true. I tend to basically more for a clout purpose that I use a couple of hashtags on Facebook, and a lot of my Facebook stuff goes out onto Twitter as well. And the reason that I use a few specific hashtags like working from home and time management is because I want to become a clout expert in those things, which I am now. So that's the reason that I tend to use a few specific tasks on Facebook. Yeah. Right. So there's a couple of things that I've put about Instagram, which makes Instagram the platform that people like all of those, because it's mobile. So you don't use your PC to do anything. You don't even have to update it on your PC. You don't have to do anything on your PC unless you want to embed a post. Everything is done via your mobile, which makes it so much more user friendly if you're out and about. And I can see that's why when you're out on events, it's much easier for you to just, take a couple of pictures, stick them up onto Instagram than it is to sort of upload an album onto Facebook.
Yeah.
Because it's not as instant as doing it via your mobile. And also, I think what people like the most about Instagram is, unlike anywhere else, the only link is the link in your bio. So sometimes you'll see people or put a photograph up, especially if it's something to do with a blog post, and they'll say, blog post link in bio, because you literally have that one link for Instagram. You can't link dump like you can on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you can't keep churning out these links and hoping that someone will be interested. It literally is all about the photograph and what comment you've put.
Yeah, you used to be able to get around that, but they've stopped it now. They've got wise to it. Oh dear.
But I think it's really good though, because I think in a way it makes you value your links a little bit more. So, especially if you're using a specific image and you want someone to go to a blog post for that, and you say like your link in bio, you're constantly changing your link on Instagram. And you don't have to link it to your website. You can link it to I think mine's linked to my newsletter sign up at the moment. I've seen people have links to their YouTube channels and stuff like that. So you can direct people to wherever you want to. You don't necessarily have to send them straight to your home page all the time.
Yeah, I must admit, I just have my home page in there, but I normally just.
This is why I said it would be good for us to chat, because we both have like completely different ideas when it comes to Instagram.
Yeah, but I tend to, if I'm reviewing a toy or something, I'll take the photo of the kids playing with the toy and just saying on the blog today, and then they can just click on the link, and hopefully it'll just go to my homepage, and then it'll be there. But I post pretty much every day, so there's always something different on the blog. So that's probably why I've just left it as it is. I don't YouTube that often.
No, but I just think it's quite handy to occasionally just put different links. I mean, what do other people think? Do you keep your Instagram link the same? Social media links is saying, I think it's Jackie, is saying that she likes that she can change between accounts now. I've only got the one account. So basically I run my Charlie Moose and my Joanne Dewberry stuff. Other than Facebook, every single other platform, I just have the Charlie Moose thing, and I post small business stuff and Charlie Moves Off. The only one that I have two separate accounts for is Facebook, because Facebook is a very different platform. Yeah. And the reason I do that is because, well, actually I'm pretty lazy, but also because when I first started writing the small business blog, I used my followers on Charlie Moves to sort of drive traffic over to my blog. So, you know, I used Instagram and Twitter to drive those people over to see what I was writing about. And then I thought, you know what, they're all quite happy looking at it, so I'm not going to bother opening new accounts. And plus I'm quite lazy and I can't be doing with messing around all the time. Whereas I know you've got two accounts, because you have another blog as well, don't you? A travel blog. And I know you've got two accounts for your Instagram.
I do. And it's just recent. It's only been probably about 6 weeks that you've been able to do it, but it's really easy to toggle between the two as well. So I do try and post on each one at different times, because I just think I have the same followers basically, so I don't want to annoy them with a million pictures all at the same time. But yeah, it's really easy to toggle between them now. And it's I was going to use the same social media accounts for both blogs, but actually I want to keep them a little bit separate, because I do different things on each blog.
Yeah, this is what I mean about you know, we can give you some advice and we can give you some tips and stuff, but actually at the end of the day, it's your business, it's your blog. Then you need to make these decisions for yourself, and what works for me might not work for you, and what works for Cara might not work for somebody else. And I think you really have to keep an eye on what's going on and make your own informed decisions.
Yeah, and as well, if you've got a business Instagram account, you might want a personal one that you can keep private, just so your family can see what you're up to, and you're not sharing your kids whatever with random people.
Yeah, definitely. And then also the good thing about Instagram is that, although this will probably change now that Facebook's getting quite involved, is that it doesn't have any insights. You know, you're not getting so wound up about what hashtag to use, what time of the day to use. Oh, sorry, someone's like, I'm like trying to talk and there's like things popping up. Sorry. Yeah, well, you're not getting stressed out about different algorithms and you know, you just literally just posting and enjoying posting.
Yeah.
Instead of constantly worrying about your insights all the time. And that's one of the things that I really like about Instagram, is that it feels a little bit more like a social media platform than a let's run a business through a platform.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it used to be the way Twitter was. Twitter was very much social, and I find that's now gone more link dumping. So this is definitely my favourite platform, because I just like to look at pictures and see what everyone else is up to, just because I'm nosy.
Yeah, definitely. So Amanda's question is, what do we think of the newsfeed algorithm? Personally, I'm not a fan, and I am a little bit of a I don't understand why people want to mess around with things that are working really well. But, you know, now that Facebook own it, it's definitely going to become, and you've got the advertising in there now, the sponsored posts and stuff. I think it's going to be more like our Facebook newsfeed. And that is really sad.
Yeah, I quite like it in chronological order, because I just scroll through and just, you know, like bits as I go. And now I know it's going to show me the most popular stuff and show me what I like, but I'm worried that I'm going to miss the smaller.
But is it going to show you the stuff that you like? Because basically it's going to show you like popular posts and stuff, right? And how many times have you on your Facebook page have you been like, why do I want to see this? Like, seriously. And it's just because like 100 people have liked it. And you're like, but that's not what I like.
I know, I'm forever hiding posts on Facebook. It drives me potty.
Yeah, exactly. I think I like the chronological order of things, because I can't sit on Instagram for 24 hours a day. So it's quite nice just to pop on and then have a flick through, and then you see things, you go, oh, I haven't seen that person for ages. And then you like go to their Instagram feed and you have a little look what they've been up to, and it's like having you just like catch up with your mates, and you're like, oh, I didn't know you went on holiday and you did this, and oh, you were near me. Whereas when it starts becoming, a newsfeed algorithm, you're just not going to see those people that you probably want to see without thinking about it. And I don't want to go into Instagram and go, oh, I haven't seen what Businesswoman Rocks has done for ages, and then have to search for you and then have to go through what everybody is looking at.
Yeah, I mean, my idea with friends and family is just to have our own hashtag that we can just click on and go and see what each other's doing. But then it's remembering to put that hashtag on as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what are your sort of favourite hashtags?
Oh, goodness. I like Life Through Adventure, although I probably don't use it as much as I should do. My husband uses loads of photography ones, which seem to get him quite good views as well. But if I'm honest, if I'm at an event, I have to use the ones that they're using, so I don't tend to use loads. I used to use Kids of Instagram a lot, but I've stopped using it now. It didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, you get like the Insta Kids, Insta Cat, Insta Pets, Insta Cat, Insta Dog, don't you? And then what do you think of this Epic one that everyone uses? Like, I thought it was something to do with pigs for ages. I didn't realise it was like some sort of thing about Epic. I just didn't get it.
I know, it's just a group of friends really that wanted to see what each other was up to, so they just decided to create their own hashtag, and then everyone just got, what's that? So it caused a few rumbles in the blog community, but yeah, it totally makes sense. So
yeah, definitely. Well, there's the list of the top 5, okay, that Instagram sort of says are Sky, Cloud, Best of the Day, Girl, and Boy. So not very interesting. I can't imagine that I would be searching for hashtags cloud very often.
No, cloud porn is quite a good one. Cloud porn is quite a good one, because that's
porn.
Yeah, no, it's pictures of sunsets and random shapes in clouds and stuff. That's quite a good one. I did do a blogger event a few weeks ago, and the hashtag was DMP, but I don't think they researched it properly because some of the posts were rather dodgy.
That's the thing. Do you remember the whole Susan's album party? And when you actually looked at it, it says Soz Anal Bum Party, because the person just didn't look down and have a look at what the hashtag was. Yeah. I mean, I sometimes use the kids' names, so I've got Charlie, Megan, and Olive. And then, of course, the problem with that is that if you search the hashtag Olive, you just get pictures of olive oil and a bowl of olives and olive green things, and sometimes some cats. I don't know why cats, lots of people call the cat Olive, but yeah. So, has anyone else got any questions? I've got loads of notes about sort of things that we can discuss, but if anyone's actually got any specific questions, I'm happy to take any questions, or if anyone wants to come and have a chat with us as well, I'm happy for you to jump on board.
So I'm trying to read the stuff.
I know it goes really fast, doesn't it? So I thought I'd have a quick chat then, if no one wants to join in just yet, about sort of the reason that Instagram is quite popular is because it is an instant gram. But have you noticed how it's becoming more and more and more stylized and edited? And I actually a few months ago saw a post on a blogger's Facebook group where they were all talking, and they were basically saying you cannot be a successful blogger if you do not edit your Instagram posts. That you cannot be a successful blogger. You have to edit everything, right? The thing is, I have an issue with this, because if anyone ever met my children, they would know I pretty much edit my Instagram feed quite regularly. I don't put the real or nitty gritty of life on there sometimes. When Charlie's coming home from school and he's crying and he's moaning because he's starving to death and he hates his life, they're not the things that I put on Instagram. So I am editing my life all the time, but I just think I can't understand why you would spend so long taking photographs with your camera to then upload them to the computer, to then edit them, to then email them to yourself or Dropbox them so you can then get them on your phone to then put them onto Instagram. It's like, what? Yeah, no,
I just tend to take my phone with me, snap a picture, and it's uploaded. Occasionally, I do have a newfangled camera that I can transfer my pictures to my phone, which is quite clever. But I don't do that very often. I can't be bothered. I haven't got time. I'm a busy mum of 6. You know, it's although the older ones aren't at home anymore. But sorry, my husband's laughing at something in the background.
Because you said you was a busy mum of 6. Is he laughing at you?
No, he's watching something on YouTube, but he just laughed at the complete wrong moment there. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, I don't have time to edit the pictures, make them look, 100% perfect. To me, Instagram is instant. It's in the moment. There's a picture. This week I took a picture of my the playroom with 4 drawers all emptied on the floor because that's what Sebi decided he wanted to do. I'm Batman, and then hashtagged it real parenting because that is real. That is my life.
Yeah, definitely. I think if I've got a photograph that I've taken for a blog post, I'll sometimes will upload that onto Instagram so they can be stylized. But genuinely, if you're going to take a photograph for a blog, you might as well just take a behind the scenes shot of it using your, on your mobile of you. Oh, this is what's on the blog today, and like your stylized shot. From behind the scenes rather than this is my stylized shot and sticking it on Instagram. I think that kind of ruins the whole instant part of Instagram as well.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like some of the stylized shots because I love Captured by Lucy's feed. She does some beautiful photographs, and that's her brand. So she's working on her brand.
I guess though, if you're a photographer, you can't really not have stylized shots on your Instagram feed because people will be like, well, why would I pay you for photography when you've got like a dirty laundry basket behind you and your child's hanging off the ceiling? You just wouldn't do that if you're a photographer, would you? But
no, fair enough. There's a question here. It says, do you use any apps for adding words to pictures? There's a few good ones out there. I think Snapseed's a good one. I've now got to look at my phone, excuse me, so I remember.
That's right. I use A Beautiful Mess, which I quite like because you can upload it straight away once you've edited it to Instagram. You don't have to like save it and then go back to your feed. It's that you can upload it straight from A Beautiful Mess.
Yeah.
I think that's like £1.50 or something, isn't it? And A Beautiful Mess also has a really great blog as well for information.
Okay, I've not heard of that one. Diptyque is another one I use. My favourite app is Pick Play Post, where I can mix videos with photos. So it'd be like a collage, and then I will have one still, one video, and maybe another still. And it's quite good, and you can time it as which bit plays at what time, so it can look really effective.
Oh, that's a really cool idea. I know quite a lot of people from sort of Lima Link Up and stuff have mentioned about Word Swag before.
I've not heard of that one.
It's basically like and so you can create like memes or memes, whatever they call them. So you can have like a background with loads of different like words and images and stuff on it. So you can do like things. Yeah, see, everyone's saying Word Swag is really good for quotes and stuff. That's what I was looking for quotes and stuff. Yeah, Word Swag is really handy.
Yeah, I see a lot of bloggers do quotes on their Instagram feed now.
Yeah.
Really, really popular. Oh, Over. Yeah, hubby uses Over.
It's I guess it depends as well because like your other half does lots of sort of designs on his doesn't he? He changes like the colours and the backgrounds and makes them look different to what they originally are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he's more arty than I am.
Yeah. He doesn't like edit them as in like we were talking about the stylized pictures. He just takes a photograph and then like makes it pop and stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he uses Colour Splash, so we'll take the colour out of some bits and then maybe have the kids in their colourful coats. That bit will be in colour, that sort of thing, or he'll edit the sky, just make it look more punchy. So
Amanda says she has to go. Thanks for joining us, Amanda. Thank you.
Michelle said that quotes are popular, but they're my least popular posts. I think I'd agree there, actually.
Michelle, do you mean by like you dislike them or your followers dislike them the most? Now I have to wait for her to come back. Oh, you don't get as many likes on your thing. I think there's quite a lot of bloggers lately I've seen that have like a photograph, and it might be a picture of just their child walking in the forest, and then they have the quote alongside it as their text rather than having the quote on the image, and they seem to do quite well. Have you noticed that as well?
Yeah, they also have about 1 billion hashtags on them though as well. And a lot of them, I've noticed, put the hashtags in the comment below so it doesn't clutter up the picture. So it's not
yeah. Yeah, there's I can't now I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. It's was Abby. Yeah, Abby did it.
Baby Me Mummy, Mrs. T+3.
So yeah, if Michelle, if you look at those people, Cara, can you write their things in the message box down there? Can you see it? If you have a look on their Instagram feeds, you'll see what I mean. So they literally just have like what looks like a normal, if I say normal, photograph, and then it's in their actual comments box where they write like a massive comment, which it's got like a big quote in it. I know that Abby does quite a lot of like Winnie the Pooh quotes, doesn't she?
Yeah. There's websites that they get their quotes from, apparently.
Oh, now you've ruined it. I just imagined her every night flicking through children's books looking for the perfect.
No, apparently there's a few websites where they get good quotes from, and I really like it when the quotes match the picture, but sometimes there's a couple of Instagrammers that their comments don't match their picture. There's a few fashion ones where they'll write about the news and then they've got a picture of them looking really beautiful, and I don't get that because I comment on their outfit and then they're like, no, I wanted you on the text, and I'm like, but Instagram is picture, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I'd quite like, in some respects, Instagram to put maybe a character lock on, because like you say, sometimes people, like, you literally are just scrolling through loads and loads and loads of words before you actually can get to comment, because they've written like a massive like quote or loads of hashtags and stuff. It might be quite nice if they sort of said we'll have a character limit like they do with Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, I think that would make a lot of sense, because I don't want an essay on my Instagram. It's there for me to look at pictures, maybe a quick comment about what they're doing, and that's it, and then I'll move on to the next person.
Yeah, definitely. And it doesn't work out very well as well if you're going to share your Instagram over to over to Twitter, and you've got like a massive comment. It's just not going to work. You just get that like first 3 words and then your ... and then your Instagram link, so I think you have to kind of work out what's going to work better where.
Yeah, but I think, obviously the bloggers that do that, it's working for them. They've got followers that like it, so you've just got to do what works for you, really.
Yeah, definitely. Just seeing what I've got on my thing. So some of my other points that I've got are sort of about things like we talked earlier about if you're going to share your Instagram feed onto Facebook and stuff, that you to edit it and stuff. And another thing that I sort of suggest to people is, if you've got a image on your Instagram feed that you really like and you want to use in a blog post, then just embed it into your blog post, so you're driving traffic from your blog over to your Instagram feed.
I've got a tip for that. You don't have to embed anymore. You just put the URL in your blog post. It works on WordPress. I don't know if it works on Blogger. But and it embeds the full size picture without you having to faff around with embed codes and HTML.
Oh, that's really good.
And
that's really handy.
Yeah, you can do that on YouTube as well, and it automatically goes to the same size as your pictures on your blog. So you're not thinking about changing sizes and making it look perfect.
Oh, that is a really handy tip, because I just don't see the point personally. And I talk about how I'm quite lazy. But I personally just don't see the point in uploading a photograph to your blog or your website that you've already got somewhere else that's already had some interaction and some traction. You might as well chuck that on your blog and then keep that interaction going, because if you're reading a blog and you see an Instagram post and you see the actual photograph, you're more likely to like or comment on it than you are to if it was just a picture. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I must, but I do sometimes. If I've got a really lovely picture that I put on Instagram and I don't think a lot of people saw it, I will use it as my Silent Sunday. And so I've got two channels there. But no, I do like to keep them sort of separate. I mean, but then my blog, I tend to do collages, so the picture might be there, but there'll be other ones with it.
Yeah, see, like I say, I'm quite lazy, so as like the least amount of images that I have to add to my website, the happier.
I like having videos on mine as well. So
yeah.
If we're reviewing toys or if we're on a day out, then I'll pop a video on as well. So it's only 10 seconds and you can edit which 10-second clip you want. So I might miss the bit of Eliza wailing and have, Isaac doing something. But yeah, having videos on is quite fun. And then you could go and look back in a few weeks' time or a few months' time and just see how much they've changed.
Yeah, I quite like that aspect of Sorry, I quite like the aspect of Instagram as well, that the images are, the videos are really short, because sometimes, you just like want that picture of them zipping down the zip wire and going, yeah, you don't want like a 2-minute video, because, like that 7-second video is no good on YouTube.
No.
You don't want to have to, you don't want to have to like make a massive video. You just want that like 7 seconds of them zipping down the zip wire. It's really handy to have that video part.
Yeah, and you can slow-mo it as well and make it interesting. And I must admit, I find my videos get a lot more likes than my photos.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's really handy.
And come and join my link up. I run Vlogjet 52 once a week, where you can link up your Instagram videos. They've got to be just a few seconds long, and then I'll share them in my blog as well. So it's a great way of getting your Instagram out there.
Oh, do you want to write it in the thingy? #Vlogjet52, and then you guys can all have a look if you have got some videos. There you go. And yeah, and I should just probably mention that on Instagram, both of us are still the same names, at Charlie Moose and at Chelsea Mama. So if you do want to come and say hi and follow us, we would like that very much. And if you do want to put your and if you want to put your Instagram links in the live chat, you're more than welcome to. Does anyone else have any more questions or want to join us? You're more than welcome to join us if you want to. There's a seat open, so you just have to call on, and then we can let you in.
Not as scary as it looks, although I have to. I don't like looking at myself. Should have done some makeup.
I know. I keep looking at my eyebrows and being like, where have they gone? Like, do you use any apps to edit your videos?
Yes. Well, Instagram, you can edit in there, so you can shorten it. You can move which clip you want to use quite easily, and you can put overlays on it to change the color if maybe it's a bit bright, what have you. Or you can use iMovie.
Oh yeah.
To edit, which is on my iPhone. I'm not sure. I haven't got an Android phone, so I don't know what you could use for that one. There's Vmotion you can use on Android, and that's quite a good app. Although I think it's gone down at the moment because they're doing some updates on it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I normally use the same. So if I'm gonna edit it on Instagram because it's only short, I'll use the Instagram edits, and for my iPad, I do like iMovie. But my PC, I've got Windows Movie Maker, and it's just rubbish, absolutely rubbish. And I must admit, it's something that I've been looking at getting some new software for the computer. So if anyone's got any suggestions, do shout. Any more questions?
Tumbleweed.
I know. I'm trying to think if I've got any more sort of I would say probably my kind of top tips that we haven't spoken about are those that are pretty much, the norm. It's a social media platform. If you want to build your following, then you need to follow people and you need to interact with people. You can't just be one-sided on Instagram. The same with any other social media platform. You have to interact. That's the key thing. So if anyone says I can't build my following, I can't do this, then you're just not interacting enough with other people, and that's why you're not getting the following that you would like.
Yeah, I must admit, if someone comments on my pictures, then I tend to check that I'm following them, and then I'll follow back. Also, be aware if you're private, that won't necessarily see your pictures, and then you have to ask for a request, etc.
Yeah, definitely.
Little Pickles Markets asked if you can hashtag too much.
Oh yeah, we did.
From my opinion, I'd say yes, because I don't use them, and I don't like seeing all that text. But then another blogger that does hashtag a lot will say, no, you can't, because people have followed them and they've got a massive following. So I think it's up to you what you want your Instagram feed to look like.
Yeah, definitely. There's quite a lot of this in the beginning about the hashtag. So I just think that too much. That I know Emma said 30. I think 30 is far too many. I think personally, I probably go for about 5, if even that. And like we sort of said before, making sure that when you start typing in the hashtag, go for the one that has the most. So for the example we used earlier was garden. So if you type in garden, and garden only has and you'll start getting a list of other words related to garden, and if garden's only got 10,000 but gardening has got 100,000, then I'd go for the gardening hashtag because it's more popular.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And then next question is, how are bloggers promoting businesses on Instagram? That's probably more one for you to answer.
Do you know what? I don't think that they do it any differently to how they do it everywhere else. But I think if you look at the really successful businesses like Coca-Cola and people like that, there's some really great behind the scenes stuff. And that's what they do. They show you their business, not as a business, but actually as human people. And I think that's what makes Instagram better for me. And I think that those people who maybe earlier were saying that their quotes and stuff didn't get as many likes, maybe it's because it hasn't got that human aspect. And I think that's what we all like as humans. We like to see actual real life people doing real life things.
Yeah, no, that's true. And as I said earlier, if I post a picture of one of my kids enjoying a toy and then tag the company in, then they'll share that and they'll like it, and they'll share it with their followers. So that definitely works for them.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a couple of good businesses on Instagram that literally sell on Instagram. Rocket and Rose is a good one. So they'll take a stylized picture of something they've made, and they make personalized kids' clothes and stuff like that. And then they always get hundreds of comments of people either loving it or wanting to order it.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's worth
having your own hashtag is really handy as well. So if you not just having your genre hashtag. So if we do take Little Pickles Market for an example, I would assume that, Jess, you're using hashtags like nearly new, children's clothing, secondhand, things like that. Then having your own actual hashtag as well, like Little Pickles Market, or something that's related to you, or LPM nearly new, or something that it is relevant to your business as well, will really help. Because if people are searching for hashtags like second hand or children's clothes or nearly new, your stuff is going to start coming up in the feed, and then they're going to start looking at your hashtag as well. So that's a really good one to do. And I think businesses as well that show behind the scenes but also show things in use is really handy. So not just being like, here's my stuff, but actually showing you how you can use it. So you're selling someone a lifestyle. So if you sold cards, for example, you might use an image, instead of just an image of a card and being like, this is my card, buy it. You might show a picture of a man and a woman hugging, and she's got the card in her hand, and or a table with the cards and flowers and chocolate. So you're selling them a lifestyle as opposed to a card.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because we don't really like being sold to. And businesses that try and use any social media just to be like, buy this, isn't going to work. But anytime that you use it as your life will be so much better if you have this card, you suddenly become more interesting to everybody else.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like you're ramming it down your throat either.
No, definitely. It says, How often do you post? So yeah, this is what we were kind of chatting about earlier. So Cara posts, like, what did you say, 4 or 5 times a day, sometimes more?
Depending. Weekends or holidays, it tends to be a bit more because obviously we're out and about with the kids. Sometimes if they're at school all day, it's like, twiddle your thumbs, what can I post about? I'm not one that shows a picture of my cup of tea or my lunch. But yeah, I try and post at least once a day on both accounts. But yeah, it's normally 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, whereas I was saying that the last time I posted a picture was actually on Sunday, and so I've spent the last 3 days working that picture, sharing it onto Twitter, sharing it onto Facebook, because the worst thing as well is when you post a picture on Instagram and then share it straight away onto Twitter and Facebook. That's what I think. I think Cara might disagree with me, but I think you sometimes have to give like a bit of time, because you have to remember that a lot of your followers are following you on the same platforms, so they don't want to see the same photograph across 3 platforms. So I tend to
on all 3 platforms at the same time.
Well,
no, not unless they're really clever.
But so I personally like to have like a few hours in between sharing photographs onto other platforms. So yeah, I tend to post less regularly, maybe sort of every other day kind of thing, and yeah, and then it's like just work that picture for a few days, whereas I know Cara likes to put a lot more images out, but I think that comes back to our kind of point from the beginning, that there's no right or wrong when it comes to social media. It's just whatever works better for your business, and whatever works better for you as well, because you have to remember that social media is part of your marketing. It's not your business. If you're not just earning money from posting pictures on Instagram, you're earning money from the other stuff. So if you're spending 95% of your time posting pictures on Instagram and only 5% of the time working, then you've got a bit of an issue in your business.
I want to know what IFTTT is.
Is it that if not, then that, or something like that? It's like, yeah, that's the one. It's kind of a bit like Buffer, isn't it? That you can schedule it to do it later for you. It's like an app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, an automation. So yeah, it's like a bit like Buffer, where you can automate your posts out for later on.
Yeah,
which
I don't want to automate Instagram. It's Instagram to me is, can you even switch your lights off? Sorry, just reading the feed. Yeah, to me,
the app can. Can it get my husband to finish building my kitchen? No? Huh.
Yeah, no, Instagram to me says instant. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like Amanda mentioned earlier, that Snapchat is the new Instagram, which I haven't even got involved in Snapchat yet.
I have with my teams, but the only time I ever do one is if I'm outside a Michael Kors shop, and I'll snap a picture of me for Abby and just wind her up.
Yeah, I think you are right. I think the more automation, the more we edit, the more that we have all these algorithms and stuff, the less likely we are to be instant. And therefore, what's the point of Instagram if you're not actually instant anymore?
Yeah, and if I am on Instagram, I don't always share it with Twitter and Facebook sometimes, because you have to select that. So if I know that I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm spamming my Facebook page, I will deliberately not share it to Facebook, and I may share it again later or may not, depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think we are going to sort of, my teen has told me I have to be on Snapchat. I think Emma posted, I did a blab with Emma from Business Rocks Women a couple of weeks ago, and she actually mentioned a workshop course, the e-course thing that you can do on Snapchat. I will, if Emma's still there, maybe she can pop it or the link on for you guys, or I will find the link for you. But yeah, I think we've got a few more minutes, so I think we should probably start winding down. So if there's any like final questions about Instagram or anything you want to say to me and Cara within reason, feel free.
Yeah, another good one, if Snapchat scares you, another good one is Vine. I really like Vine. It's full of lots of short, snappy videos of I don't know, I like Doctor Who ones on there, so they'll take clips of Doctor Who and mash them all together. Dick and Dom are hilarious on there.
Yeah, I think Vine's really good. When I did the social media at the Steam Fair last year, we did quite a few Vines, and but I haven't really used it for my own business. But I think that's a kind of a thing as well. Sometimes you just have to have a go at everything, and then if you don't get it, just leave it and move on to the next one, because your business isn't going to fail because you weren't on Snapchat. Do you know what I mean? Like,
how can you promote your business on Snapchat? I don't get it. Snapchat to me is you take a stupid photo of yourself. It's there for 10 seconds and then it's gone.
Yeah, definitely. I know there's quite a few people use. Thank you, Emma. I know quite a few people use Snapchat and have like groups on there, don't they? And they like group message each other and stuff. And I'm like, ooh, yeah. I know that she's not here at the minute, but Vicky from VickyCharles.com, she actually has a Snapchat group that you can join. Or no, is that a WhatsApp group? Oh, see, look, I don't even know. I'm like so confused. Phone illiterate.
You're probably thinking of WhatsApp. WhatsApp is you message each other for free. It's great.
Yeah. So it might be it's either a Snapchat or a WhatsApp group, and then they chat on there.
All these apps.
But yeah. I don't think there's any more questions. I'm giving you the last sort of chance. I don't think I've got any more sort of posts, although I've got pets and wine. So I think that's me talking about, and one of my children is always more beautiful than the other. I think that's, I've noticed that pictures of alcohol and animals always seem to do really well on Instagram.
Yeah, no, I did. People posting pictures of their lunch normally puts me off.
I'm not really a lunch person.
No. Yeah.
Only because it always makes me feel guilty that they've got like this luscious lunch, and I've literally gone in the kitchen and like slapped some bread together with a piece of ham in the middle, and then piled a like big packet of crisps on top with a bunch of grapes, and that's my lunch. Yeah. And I eat it at the desk because I'm so worried if I leave the desk that I won't have enough time to finish my work before I pick the kids up. So so food doesn't really appeal to me because I see these lunches and it's like, how have you had time to make yourself a stir fry and still get all the work done in between school hours?
No. I must admit, I did post a picture of my roast dinner on Sunday, but that's only because I was blogging about it. So, and it was really delicious.
Jess says, "Who has time for lunch?" That's quite true, Jess. You need to get into my habit and just eat at your desk.
Oh dear, I do that. I just randomly grate some cheese and then slap it in the sandwich and maybe put a bit of pickle on. But yeah, I don't take a picture.
No, nobody would want to see my lunch. That would be one of those pictures that you know that you'd have to edit by actually Google searching for a better lunch picture.
Yeah, here's a picture of couscous and, you know, looking all pretty with peppers and stuff. And the reality is, cheese sandwich.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me today. Everybody, and thank you, Cara, for disagreeing with everything that I've said about Instagram.
Sorry,
that's all right.
No, we're different. Differently.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. That's the whole reason I sort of asked you to join us today, is because I think it just goes to show that no one's an Instagram expert really, because everybody will have a different way of doing things, and what works for you won't work for me, and what works for Cara doesn't work for me. So there we go. And I think you also just have to remember that at the end of the day, it's a business. And if we didn't have social media anymore, if you didn't have a business at the end of that, then you probably need to be looking more at your business and your social media.
Yeah. Oh, it just scares me. No social media. What would I do with my day?
Making nice lunches.
Yeah, obviously. Maybe actually getting to see my friends that are not on a computer a few miles away.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to stop the recording then, and say again, thank you everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.